So I just want to let you know before we begin, I haven't just manifested like 1 or 2 trips, I've been able to travel all over the world. And so this content I'm going to be giving to you, it's not just like a woo-woo, one-time lucky, experience. I've manifested trips for free, where it's been paid for me. And then I've also manifested trips abroad, where I've personally paid for it. I even manifested me traveling with my family, me paying for my family to go on a trip, which was an amazing time for me. So the first action item that I would say to start implementing to start manifesting while travel is that you need to start enjoying things like driving, walking, just going on small trips to the park or something like this, right? Where you're identifying it as a trip. As you're identifying it as, going for a picnic, or, you're going on a date or something like this. You want to start realizing, even if you're just going to work, that you are actually traveling in that time. And once you're in that mode and realizing, just being appreciative that you have this vehicle that's driving you on the street and it's got wheels and it's like going, 50 miles per hour down the highway or whatever it is, right? We want to start being grateful for technology and the things that we have. And so a car, or a bus or a transport like a train or something like this that you're going on a daily basis, you want to realize that you are actually traveling in that moment, even though it might be to and from work or you're going to visit someone or whatever it is. You want to start seeing it as travel and experiencing and feeling the feelings of gratitude that you have all these tools to use to travel from one place to another. If we look back in the day, it was a horse and a cart, right? We didn't have cars, right? And so imagine how long it would have taken to get from, where your home is to where your work is or something like this. Just, you want to start getting into the feeling of being appreciative of all the convenience that we have in our reality, in our world. So stay away from things like, it's expensive to travel, it's so expensive to go on the train, it's expensive to do this, it's expensive to do that. And once you get into that mindset, you're just manifesting more expensive. And like I said before, I've manifested free trips for free. I'm gonna be talking about that in this video and how to do that. But the first stage is just stepping into the energy that, you can go anywhere, you can explore, with the tools that we have, like a bus, like a train, like an airplane, and things like this is available for us. So gratitude is very, very important. You probably heard this before, but sometimes we lack it and we get into this mindset of, it's expensive, I have to travel all this way to work and this and that, right? So we want to shift our perspectives and implementing a lot more gratitude into our experience. Number 2 is that you want to begin doing things that you've never done before, like traveling outside of your state. Traveling, I know it's not a trip abroad or like it's not far or anything like that, but through my experience on speaking with people over time, there's a lot of people that haven't, been outside of their state, haven't been outside of their area and where they live. They have very limited experience on the world, and they have very limited experience of what's outside of their current reality. And so it's very important to take those short weekend trips, right, to another state perhaps. It can be short trips or short breaks once a month where you're just traveling in your car, or maybe it is an airplane ride to a different state or to a different country, or wherever you live in the world. If you live in the UK, you can travel up and down the UK, for example, in a car. So, it's entirely up to you how you want to do it. But if you set the intention to manifest 5 trips or, 7 trips within your country, you're starting to open things up for yourself. The reason why you want to do this is because a lot of people haven't literally been outside of their area. They haven't been outside of London, for example. They haven't been outside of, a certain environment. And so there's this limit that's stopping you. But those little small trips, can start opening up things for you on an energetic level, and things will begin to expand for you over time. Basically what I'm saying here is, you want to manifest world travel, you want to manifest traveling the world. And maybe to your subconscious mind, that might be a little bit big, right? It's not reasonable, it's not realistic to your subconscious mind, because you've never been outside of, your state, or your area or whatever it is. And so once you start expanding your mind to, this is safe, it's not dangerous, you want to make it familiar to your subconscious mind to start traveling. That's why we have tip number 1, which is realizing that you're actually currently traveling now. Number 2 is that you're going a little bit outside of what you know and experiencing new things so that you can begin expanding your mind and allowing world travel to manifest into your life. The third tip that I want to give you is you want to make in your subconscious mind that it's 100% normal to travel the world. Okay. For me, when it comes to traveling, literally leaving my house, packing my suitcase, getting my passport, going to the airport and traveling to another country is the same as me traveling or commuting to work or going on the bus to somewhere in London or whatever it is. It's exactly the same feeling. There's no pedestal that I'm putting world travel on. It's just normal in my head to travel to another country. It's not a big deal. It's just normal. What I noticed through my experience in traveling, people started to, say, oh, I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous that you're traveling, like you get to do all this stuff. And in my head, I'm just like, this is just totally normal to me. Like, why are you putting it on a pedestal? Why are you jealous? You can do the same too. That was my mindset. And so I realized in that moment that you want to make what you want normal. Make whatever you want to manifest into your life normal. So comment that below. Leave a comment below. Really supports the channel. Click the like button. I really appreciate it if you do that. And just write, it's normal for me to travel all over the world, and start making it normal to you. Don't put things on a pedestal because you don't necessarily need money to travel the world, but it does help, right? And so I have personally manifested trips without money. There was a trip that I manifested where it was 6 months all paid trip to Thailand. I was literally living in Thailand for 6 months completely free. Okay. And this was something that I manifested into my life. And I manifested 2 trips to Costa Rica to do ayahuasca for free. Okay. All I did was pay for my flight, my stay and my holiday and all that stuff was paid for. My hotel stay was paid for. But you want to get to the point where, you're kind of taking money out of the equation because, sometimes you just think, oh, I need a certain amount of money to be able to travel the world. And that blocks your blessings. So tip number 4 here is to basically take money out of the equation and visualize the result that you want. Putting money in front of your traveling or traveling the world or whatever it is a limiting belief. Okay. You want to eliminate all obstacles stopping you from fully visualizing your goal as if you've already experienced it. Okay. And so I was visualizing myself walking on a pier in the Maldives. I could hear the waves. I could hear the birds, the seagulls or whatever, and the waves crashing against the rocks and whatever and whatnot. And it was sun and it was freedom and feeling the feelings of that. Okay. 2 years after doing that visualization for maybe 6 months, I manifested a trip to the Maldives. Okay, so I was visualizing for around 6 months and then I let it go. Now, I'm not saying that you have to visualize for 6 months the same thing over and over and over again, but I think that the intention of letting it go opened things up for me. So another experience that I had was taking my family on a trip to Dubai. And that was a great experience for me because in my mind, when I first started my business, one of my intentions was to do that, to be able to take my mum, my brother on vacation, on holiday. And so that's something that I always had in mind to do. And I was able to do that and take them on a vacation. So it's just, all I did was have the intention, and I would see myself traveling with family. Does that make sense? And so when you feel the feeling of it and you visualize it, you manifest it into your reality. One of the mistakes I made at the time is I did make it a lot about money. Okay, I made it a lot about how am I going to get the money to be able to afford, a trip like this. And this attachment to money causes us to have less money. when we attach ourselves to things, we lose it. Suffering is created through attachment. And so it goes back to putting traveling on a pedestal, money on a pedestal, success on a pedestal. We don't want to attach ourselves to the 3D. We want to love ourselves more than the thing that we want. You know, in the Bible, it says the love of money is the root of all evil. And so from that, my mindset is like loving things externally. And when I say things, I'm not talking about people necessarily. I'm talking about actual things. When you love things externally, you are attaching yourself to the 3D reality and you are blocking your blessings. So don't make world travel about money. Visualize the process, visualize what it is that you want to manifest, and remove all beliefs or limiting beliefs about it. I don't have the money, I don't have the time, I don't have this, I got kids, I got, I gotta go to work, yada, 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 whatever. You never know, like, what can happen for you in terms of that you manifesting a trip. It can happen in a multitude of ways. And so you just need to open yourself up to that. So it's really interesting. Tip number 5 here is I'm actually manifesting a trip right now. I'm manifesting living in another country by the end of this year. And what I'm doing is I've created a bucket, or like a jar inside of my bank account, and I'm putting money aside for this trip. So as I get paid, I put money into this account, and that account's going to build, and that's going to be money I'm going to be able to put towards this traveling. Okay, so I highly advise that you create a savings account or something like this where you're putting money into that account, even if it's 1p, 1 cent a month. It doesn't matter how little or how big. The intention of putting a savings account there for travel opens up space to show that you are serious about manifesting this. Okay, so you want to create a new savings account just for traveling or just for world travel, and just having it there and having a target of how much you want to save or whatever it is going to begin the process of you manifesting world travel into your life. There's nothing better when it comes to the law of attraction than taking action. I know a lot of people will say to script it, write it down, do your affirmations or whatever it is, but you got to take some actions, some 3D world stuff, meaning create a savings account. And tip number 1, like, start going on trips just outside of your state or whatever it is. Start taking small trips. You want to take some action. If you want to manifest a house, go visit houses. Go visit houses that are for sale to see the type of house that you want, even if you don't have the money just now. Okay, expose yourself to the energy of what it is that you want. There's nothing more powerful than exposure when it comes to the law of attraction. I actually made a video of this before, a long time ago, called the law of exposure. Maybe I should make a video on it. If you want it, leave a comment below. Let me know if you want that. And also, if you want a free energy reading and manifestation diagnosis session, there'll be a link in the description. What this is all about is I'll get on my phone, record a video for you, and read your energy and what's blocking you from manifesting your dream life. All right. And also, you're going to get a manifestation diagnosis call where it's going to go deeper into the reading and help you find the practical steps to creating the reality that you want. So if you want that, there'll be a link in the description. You message us on WhatsApp and we'll connect with you and set you up with the reading. And check this video out over here on what causes lack of self-discipline and how to become more consistent. And this video over here is an unlisted playlist, 3-part series on how to raise your vibration. Keep learning, keep growing, keep expanding, and I'll speak to you soon. Peace.